Okay, so lies told to family. Okay, so this is just basically the particular subject is related to gangstaking, trauma-based mind control. Just there's a reason why this goes on. It may be related, but my nephew Adam, on the 19th of August 2022, he lost a child. Well, I never get to hear about these things. So, he got a female that was a matchmaker situation through my own elder brother. He knew the family, and for years he was mistreated by his own dad. And I witnessed a lot of all this. So bear with me. They're not married. They just had children together. My own sister-in-law and my my half elder brother has orchestrated the lies and manipulation throughout 1981 stroke 1982 since I moved to the town. And yeah, that's where it began for me. So they protect their own children, which I witnessed them abusing, and all of them. And I shared a room with one of my very young granddaughters at the time, at 4 years of age. Sorry, not granddaughter, niece. And my teenage nephew, who was 15 at the time, ran away from home, and I was trying to support him. He had cancer over the years, and I was always there for him. So they were lucky to move to a very posh flat area. So they were lucky to move because of connections. Yeah. And the reason why my sister-in-law got them paired up, because no disrespect to the female, her family very wealthy and they're Asian and business people. And that's my older brother for you. And he uses them. He uses and he had a small bed and breakfast type exit place years ago until my elder brother got him a job. And that's how manipulation goes in realistic programming. Sad, isn't it? And all the brand new flats you wouldn't be able to rent that you buy ownership into them. My own nieces also. It hadn't been years ago in a certain thing. If I hadn't been in a certain years ago in the swimming pool with my own two young children at the time, he would be dead. My nephew, Adam. Because my sick elder brother at the time was too busy messing about with his wife and other two kids at the time. He did their vulnerable young son. He couldn't swim properly, he was in the deep end, and was a good swimmer. And as all the kids at the time, I happened to swim in the deep end and felt a lump on the floor. So I dived in deeper and got the alert of a lifeguard. We both pulled this black object up. But my brother and my sister-in-law just really hated my guts, always have, and I don't care anymore. They are sad, pathetic, you know what. And the fact is, my older brother always lied about the origins of my. So I'm right what they do, but he works in construction. But it's a shame, really, because he got thrown into that relationship. So that's that one. And blessings and for the loss of his there's my other nephew called George. And my sister made sure I got blocked to my own niece's wedding publicity. For 2000 end of 2019. And I was lied to by my own grown up son and daughter. Well, son. He was trying to be diplomatic, and my own grandchildren was going to the wedding, and I was the only one out of them all. At the end of that year, in October, blocked. And my sister lied. Yeah. She's saying because but she married into money. So eventually, sadly, her husband's dad and mum died, and they left him all the estate. So of course they pass it down to their own grandkids and family members. Is up to them. But I knew the privileged upbringing that my sister married into money, and the arranged marriage was done by the Mormons. Oh yes, it's arranged. They all know each other. So when she moved up to the area all these years ago, and she met the guy, the family very wealthy. So it's much made by my elder half brother, because he first moved to the town in the late 70s from London and the overspill those days. So, of course, my older brother, made his connections, and of course, it's a male that does a lot of the. It's really old-fashioned way of doing things, but anyone can look into their upbringing. The male does everything, and the woman stays at home bringing kids. You get a part-time job or whatever. Your main priority is a wife and a mother. Features in the males in my sister's family, her sons. The elder son is a barrister stroke lawyer. Could he help me out all these years? Of course not. Does he help anyone else in the family? Of course. Yeah, so when the social arrangements are made, the engagements, they do all the courting and that first. George was very much a flirt, like his elder brother. The younger brother was just as bad. And yeah, so Janice and Ian, very much when I had a situation, I first had my first house. I just had children together. And Janice really didn't care the fact that I had a situation that I know now was set up, because I left the Mormons, you see. You don't leave the Mormons. Now, my sister was born, well, it's alleged she was born on a certain date, but it's August really. And when she got married in 1981, and the first time I travelled up to this town, and I was a young girl then at the time, I found things out. And at the time, my late mum and her then husband, well, we were all part of the Mormons down south in England. It's a bit like famous bands over the years called the Osmonds. But when you finally wake up and realise, oh my goodness me, been IT all your life. But yet the condition, right, of the family members, the mind control, they're too scared. So yeah, Alex. And is very wealthy with his family that all grown up obviously by now. So yeah, my sister-in-law sees all her grandchildren. My well, half elder sister sees all her grandchildren. Do I? No. So through my elder sister, you find out who's connected to who. And my sister manipulation, she was taken in. The condition, the mind is conditioned. We all got on fine, and that is one of the daughters of my own natural sister, Sharon. And who lied about my natural father and my extended family, the Brown family. Yes, so when I tried to reach out, and say hello and sort of thing. Well, don't want to know because the lies of manipulation by my own, not my sister, but my own other family members. So there's no such thing as Happy Mother's Day. None of that exists when you're targeted, when they make sure. So, yeah, unfortunately, Felicity was an arranged marriage. But you see, they do this through friends and families within Mormonism. And they know each other beyond, they get engaged. Next thing you know, So next January will be my 60th birthday. No doubt I'll give her a big birthday. But she's the very one who's been manipulating things when my late mum passed away 2018. Such a shame that my sister's mind controlled, manipulated neonistic programming by my elder half brother. She's so attached to my half sister as well. She got these skills of my late mother in areas I won't go into. The talk to my sister Sharon how to manipulate social media, how to use the neuristic programming, yeah, and then manipulate my own daughter and my older grandkids, and manipulate my son eventually. And this program is a military operation. So the Mormonism, especially all my family members, are told not to, they're raised not to question anything in Mormonism. They're afraid to leave. I left at a young age when I saw a lot of dodgy things. And yet Mormonism, the policies, religious policies on certain things, be it on social media, my niece, Felicity, have posted a picture and they don't really know what this is. Yeah, I do. So it's a pity, really, because myself and my sister, we used to get on, but behind the scenes, she is manipulating this. It was my older brother who got in her to manipulation of NLP. And when you find out my brother trained in NLP in London and worked for, I've got another brother, a natural brother, who worked in the military. Equally well was trained my older brother, half brother, in manipulation of the mind too, and the techniques. And I was sold out to this program. Massive brain interface. I'm not an experiment for nobody. When you're looking at the origin of the trauma-based mind control, and since the 50s, and then the technology, one will find. So my elder half brother taught her about linking business connections. I never mentioned. Sadly, the husband she did marry was best mates with my other half brother. So of course it's natural that she was going to marry him and then have the children. And I was always very friendly with them growing up, my nephews and nieces. Well, and she adopted a disabled child at the time, and she was really genuine until they started lying to her about me too. So yeah, and she's very talented on what my late mum taught me. But she's the one that picked up that now her own married daughter, well, two of them now, and basically, you know, and then she's got another daughter who's got a child out of wedlock, and she's not perfect like anybody's the same. So yeah. And they're still hacking to the internet. Now, this guy called Lee in London is my eldest nephew. He's actually married her now. He was trading. Financially trading, and is into bikes, and he was meeting up with my own adult son, and I appreciate what he did there, trying to put my son out there, trying to help him out with a couple of things. But yet they believe in mainstream things. He travelled around, he met again Asian wife, lovely lady, but he was a trader in London. Years started with in computers, and to build up his career, he travelled, and then he met his partner. Good luck to him. So he was born in May. I won't say what year, but he's older. But he's very materialistic. Has to have like a Batman Porsche car, motorbike, and a house to go with it, and a wealthy wife connection. So his nephew was also very much sporty, into fast sports and cars and things. And also my son picked up that, not materialistic, but onto the sporty and the cars side of things. So each to their own. But yeah, it's just a bit of history, really. You can't change your family members. But yet, all of my nephews and nieces still keep in touch with each other because they've got kids. They keep in touch with each other. They know each other. And I'm cut out of the picture. even just to ignore it, to say, hi, how are you, blah, blah, blah. Because this program makes up so much, not necessarily by your actual family members. It's fabricated in type of notes, documents, and you talk to any, well, these internal things. It's being monitored. So my late mum did her best. She would turn over in a grave if she can, because this is like ages ago now. On Facebook, I befriended to my own family members, befriended on Facebook, and they just blocked me. But I don't hardly use it nowadays anyway. Absolutely not. And when certain people so up north, not far away during this period, warm weather. Oh, would you like to come and visit us? We'll help you come and see us. No, 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 no. Anyway, this other guy, he's very skilled. He married my sister's, well, married my niece, my sister's daughter, and he's always been a bushcraft. She is a little bit deep down, and they got kids together now. But he gaslighted. Photo 2018. They don't even know the pictures they're taking of the. That's how badly the gaslighting goes. And yeah, so this is how close knit my Mormon family are. I've always been manipulated. It's a shame, really. It's like cut off from everything. But you learn to know the truth. But sadly, these people, innocent nephews and nieces of mine, I've no clue. But Ian, my brother-in-law, always knew. So did my elder half brother and the other brother Pete. And it's really hard to forgive them. Really is. But when I look back on it all, really, it wasn't none of their fault because they didn't know no different and they just did what they thought go along with the status quo. Because you're not meant to leave the Mormonism. And they tried to mind wash my emotional state. I was only men. They were nothing but manipulation, mind controlling. You're going to be disowned within the family because you dare be yourself and question things. And I'm glad I got out of it. But when you raise your own family in your own best way, um, yeah, your own kids are growing up, and you find out that, my gosh, manipulation that goes, and how deep the rabbit hole goes. Yeah, so I missed my sister's birthday, 6th of August this year. Yeah, 61, 62. Adult, because they're both brilliant. They're very wealthy, but they don't give a monkeys all the things that they go through. Never have. Ian's one for his motorbike.
Like everybody that wants to Jarvis, Doug and Dorothy Harvey, Maria Taylor. Okay, we've got 24 hours.
That was my sister's voice. 2014, when she's busy in her posh house doing an ice bucket challenge. Yeah. Living in a very posh house, never had to work in her life. And never caring one little bit, because the photos they post, they think, what's a lovely sky and all this stuff.
Like everybody that wants to and I take up the challenge and I'm going to nominate.
Shame, really, that she just went along with everything her husband told her to do. And that's what you need to be obedient to your husband. She's got, or was, a decent woman in her own right before she married. As soon as she married, that's what. So it might be different these days, who knows? But they don't realise what the real world's about. They believe everything in the mainstream of everything. Anyway. So I don't even know what's going on with my actual own family members, because they don't want me to know, so they can go and do the right thing. And you go. If they cared at all, they would know what I'm going through. And they'd be a true family, but they're not. It was nice. You should have seen it at the fake manipulation, I should say, of that 2018 meant to be the funeral of my late mum. Because what they do in the program, they have to get to every single body, your friends, your family, everybody you think you have a relationship with for you to sort of. And yeah, so for 2 years got used by my son. I forgive him because I know he was genuine, but they made sure they got to him because he's got 2 children. They have to find a leverage. I have to find a weakness. And it's a military operation that started your program. And you have to find a weakness. So they were studying the target individual for years. And it was my bloodline. Well, I'm the odd one out, really. I wouldn't go along with being married off into the Mormons. And it's the corporation. I didn't know about how much until I got out of it. And I'd researched the founder. Anyone can research, no disrespect to religion, but if you want to research the truth, Joseph Fielding Smith was a Freemason and his whole family. America founded the Mormons. Oh yes, for sure. Yeah. So apparently, when you leave your culture to survive. From here, trials and tribulations. Very pink skies at the moment in England. When I first moved here, my older brother implied and my elder half sister implied that they were going to help me. They thought I was going to rejoin their Mormon church, organised religion, when my old house got broken into. And it was mind control effects. And my sister got a job working as a public servant in town. Only through your husband's connections, that's all. But you're Mormons, you're credible, aren't you? You talk to ex-Mormons about the child abuse that's been going on for years. The hidden hand, shall we say. Worldwide. This is a spiritual journey, and if my family members took a certain you know what in the past 2 years, how come they're still existing? Hmm. But it's like anything, so many people are waking up, so many people are asleep. Oh look, I might screen share this. Comments. People I've not had a holiday at all. You don't when you're targeted. You don't have birthdays. Alright, this is Sofa in Weymouth, Dorset in England, UK. Comets me through skies. Massively on the right hand side. First of September, only classics in England. So, for those people thinking that's nice weather, it's not. It's man-made. They messed about my sleep, and I got audio evidence what they did. They're demonic Nephian demons. Educate yourself.org. I'm waking up to so much information over the years. And my path didn't go down that road, but what my sisters did. Yeah. Left hand side of the screen, top left is a comment. It's massive. It's not the natural sun. When you're targeted, you don't have a holiday. You have all sorts of this. It's a military operation. No, this is Isle of Wight. No. This is meant to be a sun. No, it's white. At 8 o'clock is meant to be the sunset. That's not your natural sun. Let's just come back a little bit. Very dark skies over the water. Wow. Well, I'm going to put that on big screen. These are massive. That's not your actual sun rays. I'll pause it. I don't know how many miles wide. There's massive comets. Makes you wonder why they want to send a rocket to the moon or something. How many comets do you think's hidden up in that sky? The Needles Bay Westcam, Isle of Wight. How many? These are the rays. How many of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Long waves pointing downwards across the sky. Excuse me. That sky I see is carbon monoxide to protect your lungs. Excuse me. You breathe. Oh my gosh, look at that. So much deception up in the skies. But my family members wouldn't even be bothered to look at this. So anyway. The heavens are open, as they say. Judgment Day is upon this land. Cooperative warfare. It's a book out there, actually. They want to use brain interface neural network for advanced technologies. Havana syndrome, you might want to research. Yeah, they target your nerves as well. Alright, let's move forward on the screen. There you go. Let's go back. Oxford, UK. My wow, these are comets right above the sky, right top. I'm just going back to look. Wow. Not your natural sun. Not sure if their colleges, universities are open. Yeah. These are massive showing up in the skies over Oxford, England. I think we're still in holiday mood. Wow, the sky's full of comets. Planet X Nibiru. Oh yes, quite a few. Wow. Against a Grain YouTube channel is very good to go into more. So I'll leave it there. Just a short one. Just look at the last webcam and then I need to end the stream. Oh my nano particulars. No way. Oh wow. What area? Hollow white. The webcam is picked up. Let's go back a bit. The weather's changing. Yeah, in front of the camera. Must have been raining. And it's picking up the nanoparticulates coming out of the rain. And it's in front of the lens camera. These AI cameras consume messy orange dust. Birds are trying to survive. Nature's trying to survive. The camera will zoom out in a minute and you'll see, or may not see it. You see what the sunrise looked like. I'm sure there's really nice areas, but this weather's been manipulated. And I'll be lovely to be in a boat or on a really lovely big hilltop and take loads of photographs of what I see and know about. I would need a gas mask first. I think that's what I could afford it. Seriously, I need less than one. Because it's toxicity and goodness knows what it's going to be like winter period. I'm just skipping forward. No, I'll skip halfway forward now. Well, they're still doing boating trade in the area. The skies are turning pink. And they're zooming in on the land at the moment and trying to see if they... It's quite a famous yachting area, I assume. Right, orange pink skies have started already. That was 4:30 today's date. I'm just zooming forward a bit. Pinkish skies, yeah. Iron oxide. Wow, there you go. The comets are shining through. It's not the natural sun on the right hand side. So they quickly moved that camera, didn't they? Let me try and capture that again. Look on the right hand side if anybody sees this video. If they do, because I get a shadow band. The sun. It's a sun disseminator that's got really large. The reflection is all over the water, very large. You've got comets in the middle of the screen, smaller. Behind that, Don't know where the natural sun is. I'll just let it play a bit and see what happens. Well, they quickly wanted to go out of that, didn't they? Let's see what caused them to switch. Quick camera, didn't they? So they play it, see if it goes back again to the sky. Panning out, so let's see if it does do anything. See, it's all orange skies, reflection on the greyness of the water. And go right to full screen now. Is it out? See if it pans back out to the skies. One thing I do miss is the coast, but not with the toxicity and the way the world is now. Right, I think that's it for me. So screen sharing. Seeing a shadow ban and blocking my internet connection coming through. Going to my channel. Lies due to mind control and gangstaking. Matthew 24 verse 12. Right. There's automatic monitoring. There's automatic monitoring. It's a satanic world.
Okay, here we have Jay Dyer reporting for InfoWars, and does a very good report for normies that might be listening concerning the satanic world order, or the new satanic religion that's going to be coming in. That seems too far-fetched, but in fact is actually based see build up. A lot of people who've been paying attention to this and watching, they can see it building up, and they understand that crazy as it sounds to anyone with even Christians with common sense and that are not going to take it racist just on face value. Even to them, it seems just too over the top. Like how can they possibly do it? Like, it just doesn't make sense. There's too many satanic, common sense, Bible on one hand and shotgun on the other Christians in America. There's just no way. But listen to this report, and then I will comment on it scripturally. A lot of people are paying attention to this. How it matches the outrageous they understand what is in play and is going to come more into play. Listen.
Well, I'm actually Alex Jones on your guest host, Jay Dyer. Talking about a essay that I read back in 2010, and at the time I thought it was too out there. It was just crazy, the idea that there could be a spiritual sort of satanic dimension to this global new world order that's coming into play. And I remember it the other day as I was reading through a lot of these global elite texts, and I thought, that actually needs to be in the roster of the global elite texts because it now has come to fruition. In fact, this was an essay written by a self-proclaimed high-level Satanist in Australia. And this person wrote this essay at his deathbed, so he says, that I just wanted to give an account of all of the evil that I participated in. And it's not a confession of repentance or something like that, but he's confessing to the fact that what's coming into play is a satanic plan. Because at the time, I thought this is just a little too far out there. That he's going to believe this. But I thought it was relevant because he was a powerful underground player in Australia. And he claims to be connected to a lot of satanic groups there, as well as satanic groups in the U.S., including other people in the government, military, entertainment, and so forth. The fact that he said back in this satanic elite had just conquered the Australian and British Anglo-Spiritic establishment governments, that he said in the next several decades you will see heavy-handed tyranny, brutality, and oppression coming into play. I don't think it's in the realm of theory anymore. I think that he was telling the truth. I think this person was a member of a high-level satanic group. He did have all the connections that he talked about. And the mere fact that he said that the Australian people would see the heavy hands of this satanic power structure coming down upon them proves that he was telling the truth. So in this essay, it's about the confessions of a former high-level Satanist in Australia. And the first thing he said in this essay is that they have essentially corrupted and corralled many high-level politicians, lawyers, military men, gurus, and other religions, including high-level Christian groups, right? Powerful elite Christian groups with a lot of money, especially evangelical fundamentalist groups. He says that they've actually bought them off back during that moral majority period. Now, again, I didn't believe that at the time, but I think that now we've seen a lot of the scandalous ministers that have come out of both evangelicalism and the world of Catholicism, both of those realms that are writing with controlled opposition church leaders. He is saying that we need to remove the techniques of mind control that are used that use policies within culture. He says that we even at times are organized crime groups. He says that my order in all this goes back to my college days in Australia where I was invited to the same times and invited to some of these black groups. And he says that when I started out, I didn't realize when I was really getting into it. He says that as I moved up in the ranks of those houses, I realized that we were intentionally developing degradation rituals. And what he means by that is that they utilize the psychological effect of and putting them in our process to degrade us so that says that basically groups are responsible for the promotion of all degree and he takes pride in it. He says that yes, we did this on purpose. We did it absolutely to degrade society, and we had help from Western intelligence agencies and very rich, very powerful people. What's again insightful is that a lot of what he says here, it's parallel in a lot of other cases, right? Savile, Epstein, these kinds of things, right? It's exactly what this person's talking about. So again, those cases that came out, think about the high-level MPs, when we think of Cyril Smith, Ed Heath, right, the stuff that David Icke talked about, those high-level people in the British government, they were exposed as satanic elites a long time ago, and it perfectly is corroborated in what this person claimed 10 years ago. He goes on to say that the abused are a kind of higher level of evolved people. He thinks, or excuse me, the abusers are more evolved. He says that groups like the Church of Satan are real Satanists, and they're kind of front for his group, which is an international higher elite connected to billionaires and very powerful people. He says that they found a lot of power when they would compromise very powerful political figures, and they would do this through the sexual operatives, sex swallow operations, these companies, things that intelligence agencies do. He goes on to say that a lot of police groups, right, not police everywhere, but high-level officials and police groups would be co-opted by them so that they could cover crimes, cover up serial murder cases that were connected to satanic groups. And in fact, what you see right now when you look at Australia, you see the police attacking and brutalizing the population. And it reminded me just exactly word for word what this guy said in his deathbed essay, that they had co-opted a lot of the police in Australia to do their bidding. He says that the occult groups are intimately linked to the intelligence networks, and that they operate at a global scale, and that they're involved in black markets. And this made me think of organized crime. It made me think of, you've heard Alex talking about a lot of people intelligence used Satanist Aleister Crowley, one of the most famous Satanists of the 20th century, as an MI5 asset. They hired him to do all kinds of side work for them. So Western intelligence has never had, they've always been connected to these kinds of dark, satanic groups and sects, to use them as part of their compromised black market networks and operations. He says that one of the things that was that his group was involved promoting was the dumbing down of the population, the intentional goals being by 2010 and 2030 to institute mass depopulation. And so what's amazing here is that what you hear Gil Bates, we got Klaus Schwab, and what you hear the satanic elite saying is one and the same. Don't know what beliefs are, because they all have the same end goal, right? And the end goal of these people, which is to degrade, destroy, and dehumanize society. So a lot of people can't figure out what's going on because they won't look at, or they're deluded and blinded to the reality level connected spiritual plan that's at work in this global new order. They only see it at the level of politics, or the level of Fauci, or the level of this or that, which is true. But if you understand that this is a conscious, willed, evil plan, then it all begins to make sense, right? It doesn't mean Bill Gates has to consciously know that he is doing something satanic. He may not know or believe in Satan, but they're under the dominion of a higher level satanic power, precisely because it lines up exactly with what the Satanists themselves have said for the last 100 years is their plan to massively depopulate as a ritual, right? As a ritual. They even say abortion is a ritual sacrifice. And so this is all part of a plan, and the dates even line up with UN goals of 2030. 2030, mass depopulation by 2030. When we come back, we'll get more into this essay. Don't go. Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm your guest host, Jay Dyer, Jay's Analysis. We were getting into the Confession of a Satanist, the deathbed essay, bragging about the things that they back in 2010, predicting where things would go in the next decade and up into 2030 with that same coordinated goal of the UN depopulation agenda by 2030, getting the numbers down, right, from he says up to 70% is the goal by 2030 to depopulate the earth by at least 70%. He also says another one of their goals was in the Anglo supply to have enough chemical in there. And he says that if you want to see an example of where he got this philosophy, he said you could look to somebody like Henry Kissinger. Now, he doesn't say that Kissinger was explicitly a Satanist. Again, it doesn't really matter if they're objectively, purposefully doing it for Satan or whether they're just part of the plan. He says that if you look at the terror strategy that Kissinger premiered along with Brzezinski, the strategy of tension, the arc of crisis, he says, we just took those old models of how to keep the public in fear and we turned that to. So if you look at the way that the CUFID response has been rolled based on fear narrative, it's the exact same psychology of war and the war on terror, right? And it's this hyped up fake of things that at least last year, right, 99.9% of people do not die from COVID. Now, of course, we've got mutating things out there. Who knows what's out there in terms of releases and what they're doing in terms of the spike protein network by which everybody would be surveilled. And he says it went directly to the high-level British elites, went directly up to the Queen. It was a British intelligence operation ultimately connected to the CIA. And he says if you want to understand the pop culture world, he says look no further than high fashion. He says high fashion itself is ruled and dominated by a bunch of satanic elites. And remember, this is 2010. What have we seen in the last couple of years with the fashion world? Literally satanic fashion shows in England. Do you remember that? There was churches that are used, so-called churches, Episcopal, which aren't even really, they might as well just be satanic churches, right? Episcopal churches having openly satanic Baphomet inverted pentagram fashion shows in the last couple of years, right? And we've seen this all over the fashion world. He mentions other satanic groups working with his group. And he says, ultimately, our goal was to destroy Christianity. Now, this struck me as odd because if Christianity is if it's a lie, right? If it's a deception, if it's this weak, horrible religion, why do you have to work so hard to destroy it? I mean, wouldn't it just implode on its own? To me, that suggests that they kind of know deep down that there's something real about what they're working against. But another fascinating aspect of this essay was where he says that in their viewpoint, what they're doing is a ritual. So all of the things that you see, like the high fashion shows, like the evil, degenerate pop culture, the movies, the degradation that we see in the pop stars, when you see Lil Nas X and the stuff, he says these are rituals. And he says that the degradation that's put out in terms of the extreme pornography and the Hollywood degeneracy, he says it literally is a ritual, and it's done to degrade and dumb down and brutalize the spiritual senses of the population so that they go under a delusion and can't see any way out of it. It's a hoodwink or a spell. And he says that the more that they buy into this, the more they're deluded and the more they double down. So there you see the very thing that this person, imagine in 2010, nobody would have even conceived of something like the Lil Nas X stuff coming out. That would have seemed, that's way too far. No way. Yeah, we've got, Lady Gaga doing this. We've got Madonna doing that, but there won't be anything like that. Here we are with it fully rolled out. He said 11 years ago, you would see it fully rolled out. He said they would come out, right? It's the age of them coming out, right? And unveiling themselves and pointing out that, we tricked you all along. It was intended to be a satanic age or aeon. And that's what he says they're going to. And in fact, it's going to get even crazier. And so I think, and I'm not trying to give too much credence to these people because I think these people are evil. their plan is going to fail, but we should listen to the fact that he says other things that are probably going to come true too. In other words, mass depopulation. In other words, that there will be a top-down, brutal 1984 technocracy that they will put into place. And he says, make no mistake about it, it's not an atheistic, materialistic thing. That might be a phase, but ultimately it's a satanic thing. And he says, if you've ever read 1984, it's like that, right? It's like the boot stamping on your face. It's like Winston being oppressed. And he says, in fact, the whole modern world is really just a satanic system. And he says, we want to turn the world into a toilet so that it will collapse on its own, so that we can erect something new in its place. And when we come back, I'll tell you what he says they want to erect in place. But be sure and support Alex and the InfoWars store, in this operation, in this warfare. Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm your guest host, Jay Dyer of Jay's Analysis. Be sure and follow me over at Jay's Analysis, where you get access to all of my archived lectures, talks, and interviews, where we've gone through at least 50 or so of the writings of the global elite. Now we've got a new one, which is not a white paper. It's not a boring technical manual. It's a guy who's basically just telling you straight up what the real plan is, right? It's actually a satanic age that they want to bring in. Now, that's the irony here, is that this guy goes on to say, well, after we flush Western civilization down the tube because we want to basically make it into a big toilet through degenerate pop culture, he says, you thought you were going to get this age of liberty and freedom? No, you're going to get an age of brutal tyranny where the satanic aristocracy, those who are truly evolved, those at the top of the Darwinian social totem pole, will brutalize and have a slave population underneath them. That is the technocratic elite, the eugenics elite, basically. And he actually says, no, we still believe in eugenics, by the way. We actually want to, in a dysgenic sense, depopulate all of you. You're all dumbed down, blind cattle and sheep, and you're going to go to your own destruction. And he says that it's precisely because people can't see that it's a spiritual battle that is a satanic plan that we will win. So this is why we're losing, right? Now, I don't think in the long run we lose. We will win, those of us on the side of good. But for these people, they believe that they're going to win precisely because of the weakness of the people on our side. And he's actually correct about the weakness of Christianity, so-called, in the modern world, the weakness of those who claim to believe these things. They are capitulating to people like this, left and right. He said, when you believe that God doesn't have anything to do with all of your life, you surrender these areas to us, he says. So we will take over the realm of government. We will take over the realm of media. We will take over the arts, and we will destroy you through those weapons. He says we intentionally weaponize them. Now, you thought that Satanism or these kinds of occult groups were about freedom and liberty, right? Well, he says, no, that's what we tell the lower level dumb people. He says, at the higher levels, we understand that reality is not about freedom. It's a pure predator-prey relationship. And in this purely predator-prey relationship, he says, we have the dominion and the right via nature to subjugate and destroy you in that predator-prey relationship. He says, so guess what? In the coming age, he says, when we destroy Western civilization, and by 2050, when we bring in the new satanic aeon, the New World Order, he says, we will subjugate you, depopulate you. And he says, the only religion of the future will be Satanism. Wow. It almost brings to mind things that Albert Pike reportedly said, right? That the coming age will not be one of Christianity or Islam or even atheism. He says all of those will pass away, and we will bring in the Luciferian satanic age, right? He says all these social structures will capitulate to us, and the New World Order will be one of a fully, it's a theocracy, but the theocracy is the satanic theocracy. So you thought all along, right, that, oh, there's just liberty, it's just freedom. No, it's not. It's a satanic New World Order.
So as for the corruption of the churches, we see here in Revelation, starting in 2:19, it says, I know thy works and charity and service and faith, and thy patience and thy works, and the last be more than the first. Notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication. Think about that. Fornication in the church. So how serious does the sin of these churches have to get before you can believe that there is serious corruption in the churches? And to eat things sacrificed unto idols. And I gave her space to repent of her fornication, and she repented not. Behold, I will cast her into a bed, and them that commit adultery with her into great tribulation, except they repent of their deeds, and I will kill her children with death. And all the churches shall know that I am he which searcheth the reins and the hearts, and I will give unto every one of you according to your works. But I say unto you, and unto the rest in Thyatira, as many as have not this doctrine, and which have not known the depths of Satan. You see, these church people know the depths of Satan. As they speak, I will put upon you none other burden. So we can see that actually Satan is involved in the very works of churches in the end time. So this matches what this Satanist from Australia wrote on his deathbed, as Jay Dyer was expounding upon. And we can see then that there's more that matches. And as we can also see from Revelation, it's not just the Christians. It's not just the Christians, but the Jews, as we see here. It says, Revelation 3:9, Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, so the feet of the true Christians, and to know that I have loved thee. So we can see here also that the synagogues and the Jews, as well as the Christians, will be involved in actually being a church or synagogue or gathering for a worship service that is actually worshiping the devil. And another line from that matches what Jay Dyer was saying is here in Revelation 12:9, which says, And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. You see, and the point to keep in mind is that Satan is able to trick all of the institutions of the world, even one Christian values, into actually doing all of his evil deeds and worshiping him, as the scripture says. It says, all who did not become servants of Jesus Christ will actually end up serving, and not just serving, worshiping Satan, the devil. As it says here, he tricks the whole world. Everyone is by it, leaving no doubt mass of Christians and Christian churches, individuals, everyone is tricked, is fooled. They think that they're righteous. They think that they're going to go to heaven. They think that they're friends with God. But what do we see? No. They are, in fact, worshiping and serving the devil. And as for the part about attacking the Christians and the saints, we see here in Revelation 12:17 a iteration of that. It says, And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, the Jews, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. Okay, now notice how this matches what Jay Dyer was saying in his dissertation, Revelation 13:1. And I stood upon the sand of the and saw a beast rise up with 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. See, not only does he rule the whole world, but he gives his servant, the beast, great authority with which to exercise control. Now, some of us, probably including Jay Dyer, who found it timely to read my report, though I first read that satanic author from Australia back in 2010, but he sees what's happening recently as being a realization of what he read back then that seemed so outrageous. And now it seems like it's really happening. Revelation 13:4, and they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, and who is able to make war with him? So there's going to be an overwhelming force, which we may be being faced with now. Like, people want to rise up, people want to organize, but somehow they can't. And they're seeing the tyranny, and more people are waking up. But we see here that they worship dragon. People that are even like crying out for freedom and rebelling may be of those same people who are
now, maybe 6 months. So far so good. They've not taken it down yet, but I am massively sensitive, which the views show that, which is absolutely fine. We have got Rumble as well now, so everything that gets pushed to automatically goes as well. So one day we will be moving away from you altogether, but it's just.
Cool. I think we're going out on YouTube. I think we are. I'm not sure what's going on with this internet. It's fine days. My channel. Yes, we are. We are going out live on YouTube. Nice to see everybody. To see you nice. Let me just pause it so I can see your comments. It's been a long time. Yes, been a long time, so we're going to wait for a few people to pop in. We should have a bit of live chat going. I could have just gone live straight on YouTube, but it is what it is. We're going to be talking about the events of the days. We're on Wake Up UK. Got net tonight, 9 o'clock on the radio show. So that's going to be good fun. Yeah, nice to see you all, guys. Let's just wait for people to come in. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. We all live in a community, don't we, nowadays? We all here in the same pot, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you. I'm hoping some of you are in. Let's have a look. Jesus Jones. Hello, Jesus. How are you, darling? Nice to see you. Yeah, just waiting for. I don't know if the comments come up. They don't come up in here. We've just got one in the room. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Not good. Facebook have banned me on my profile, so that's not good. But it is what it is. So we're going to wait. Who else is it just one? It's not good, is it? I'm banned on Facebook for 5 days. I said, let's drag all the energy company bosses out and do how it goes against our community standards. I'm like, we can't. It is communist, isn't it? This country now.
It's
when I was a kid, you say what you wanted to say. Didn't have all this censorship. And the problem with censorship, of course, is and removing freedom of speech. Freedom of speech, whether it's good speech or bad speech, it's freedom of speech. And sometimes, freedom of speech, whether we like it or not, it brings about, it stops the bottleneck, doesn't it? It stops things getting out of control. But we've all been told by the woke leftists that we can't do this and we can't do that, and it's quite sad, ladies and gentlemen. It is quite sad. It really is. Paul, hello, Paul. How are you? Said it was communist years ago. It is. To me, it is. You were over the target. Yeah.
You're also going to need to be careful of false information, because there's a guy on YouTube. He's on different platforms, and he's also works as a plumber trade, but he's very well connected in Freemasonry and this sheep's wool clothing, because he claims to be a spiritual man of the Bible. Yeah, he wouldn't get his job as a self-employed individual without having Freemason connections. He left his first wife, and he each to their own, and went for another individual who is more wealthy, female, and he married her to money. So, stables and a private house in the countryside. Yeah, I don't think it's right for people to come on and say about cost of living, energy increases, when they have no idea what it's like, when they also have a wood burner, when they know people haven't got all that, people are homeless. So I just thought I'll pop up, and I'm just going to end my stream. Just going to watch what I can, because this is a bigger picture. I'm just going to stop my stream because I've got lies and family. That's all I had to say. Signing out. Well, hold on, we got the Christina, bless her, in America, satellite torture. Yeah, I know what that's like. I don't know what the time difference is in America. I've been going through this all night, all day. Don't know how she copes, but she's got young children too. She's in America.
Just coming across as like straight up like attack. Not getting their way. Now they're really attacking my ground shot and my third eye, or what's my tolerance.
Building your business online? Go to Wix.com and get your site up and running with a tailored creation. Add what you need for your business and pick a design that matches your style.
Or some or whatever, dude. I'm getting a lot of backwind shit. Yeah, it's hard for me to focus too. I was just laying down, all of a sudden this fucking tag, it was just like
Everyone's leaving.
I was like, what the fuck?
Everyone's had the holidays in England, and I never do get a break.
Hey, Spirit Faith. Yeah, I'm getting hit with all kinds of shit, dude. I just started laying down. It was like a short attack.
And they manipulate the weather as well to make it colder. This is definitely the one. You see, you either sickness and you participate or you don't. There's no two ways about it. It's either one or the other. And if you're not, then you do things to your own, allegedly. Certain family.
It's so better, like, kind of shit. I fuck this. Do my own thing. Yeah, Nick. Drama with this, like, even the V2K, it's like full of fucking drama, dude. This dude just straight fucking attacking, bro. Like, he just hops on and just fucking starts attacking, dude. I don't know what his fucking deal is. It's like tweaker shit.
Nice to see you. I think
Like, these are out of control, dude. I don't know last year.
these
Fuck these clowns. I don't know. I just like, oh, fuck that, dude. It's like fucking. Excuse my language, you guys. But I just like, I was laying down, then all of a sudden, like, they're on my crown. Like, they're on my chest. And they're like digging deeper. It's just getting out of control. Like, on a little ass female, these are fucking cowards, dude. They're straight up cowards. They like to pick on the weak, bro. Fuck that.
we're seeing so many people now in this country.
On the weak. Tiny ass fucking female,
Even
dude.
the police themselves. I've got
This is stupid, bro. This is straight up garbage, dude. Like, seriously. Then they try to keep me. Fuck these dudes, bro. Fuck Unspo. Fuck the Gator. Fuck that, dude. Fucking bullshit, bro.
Still blocking man.
Yeah, and they're acting like I could go to a fucking church or something. Like that, dude. They want to use fucking. Fuck these dudes, bro. I'm over it. It's fucking. Just for all, dude. It's like free for all shit. It's not a joke. It's not fuck these dudes, bro. So what is kratom? It's like synthetic stuff. Be careful with that, brother. I wouldn't advise anybody to take shit while going through this, bro. I'm not trying to, like, make you feel bad. Just be careful, bro. Like, yeah, these dudes are straight attack. They're like coming in on my fucking energy, dude. Like, this one fucking cat, I don't know Taylor. He's like fucking like an intense little dude. This dude's gotta fucking hit the road, bro. What the fuck? He's gotta fucking go, bro. Damn, I just broke my selenite. Oh, maybe it was meant to be.
A small comets in Scotland weather cam. So the reflection of the water. I've got on this tree in a minute. My lungs, the frequencies affect. It's gonna get, oh yes, shit, the weather. Don't know when the storms are gonna hit. NK Ultra. Techniques, drugs to block memory, sympathetic cybernetic implantation against. This is NK Ultra program. So. And yeah, I'm not going into that right now. The times we're living in. There's a lady in America, she's going through this too. Similar. Wow, Wednesday get intense. Most of the day on Wednesday. So, I should say, Saturday. Weird, isn't it? You got the temperature tomorrow, it's meant to be 26 degrees. We're not in this area. 23 maybe. I mean, it's 21 now, but it doesn't feel like it. So 10 to 8 to sunset, so I'll go in for sure. It's going to minimal temperature is 12 degrees. You can start seeing the temperature changes.
Alright, my bad, you guys. Yeah, they fucking, they suck, bro. Oh my god, so I gotta ground my energy. laying down on the grass. They're attacking me so heavy. Attacking a little ass chemo too. These dudes are fucking on a good one, bro. It's just they attack little people. This is dumb. Let me ground my fucking energy. This is fucking stupid. Dude, fuck these dudes, bro. That's what I'm trying to do. They won't even let me do that. It's like I got a crackhead, dude. Like some, I don't even know. It's like straight up crackhead stuff. And they're using religion, like all kind of shit. It's like fucking straight up. It's like extreme, bro. Like they're trying to force like religion, all this other shit. Fuck. I got some scrawny ass fucking face ass looking ass fool, dude. Like straight up face status. This dude looks hella paisa. Then they all pass around me trying to look hard. Like they don't understand, bro. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
So in France, there was an elderly, wealthy businessman who got out life insurance for millions of dollars. He got the COVID vaccine.
They did not let me get any kind of energy. He was a hella fucking dust with. Yeah, I mean, what am I going to do that? Fuck that dude. Tweakers. Then they're trying to like perpetrate that they're this, that, and the other guy rape. I don't believe nothing. Phones all lit up.
I am sick and tired of talented musicians quit on themselves and their dreams.
Then I got this fucking chunty ass deal. Fucking hella chunty, dude. What? What's going on?
We are now seeing the quiet but very real depopulation of anyone who's hooked for boom boom.
Forces on record is saying, oh, they want to control the weather by 2025, and we are not talking about
Chunty asshole, dude. I can't even ground my energy. I can't do nothing, bro. Then they're narcissistic, like the narcissist bullshit. It's like black eyes and flowers type shit.
Next up, the Styles Girls Basketball Game. Here, once again, are the words from Ashley Biden's diary. Quote, I've always been a boy.
Boy, I'm trying to show you why they gangsters, ain't you? So the banks in China have ran out of money to give people in it what they have. They can't deposit anything in people's accounts. You can't withdraw nothing because there's no cash. Guess what we're trying to do? Guess what we're trying to do? The thing is, they close your card off. They finna force them into that world government. You hear me? You finna get forced. So China, everyone who has money in the bank in China, allegedly, you can't make a deposit. You'd be dumb if you had some cash that you go put in. You ain't never gonna do that cash. Whatever cash you got there in China, you better hold on to it. So now, they closing their accounts and turning their bank cards off.
Fuck the riches.
They don't have enough money to pay you with your own money. So they close your account and put your card off. Now that's gangsta. They know them people in China ain't got no way to fight back. They not finna do it.
Just fucking just shocking, bro.
So if it did all the things, guess what? If you think about how much money the average people have in the bank, you think about what is it, almost 2 billion people in China? They just damn near came out of debt by taking all of the people's money. They just can regenerate the economy and bring back the all way digital, no cash. So and then now you force the word. The model, it doesn't. It turns into the Hunger Games. It's big games. Y'all want to know what it's big games? In China, what do you think they were showing in China? You ain't got no money. You can't eat.
I'm just tired of the evil bullshit, bro. And trying to change me. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm fine the way that I am. Should go beat on a fucking dude or something.
China is now taking 100% control.
This shit's out of control. Like, they just beat me down to the ground. I feel like I'm being suffocated. It's just like fucking. Excuse my language, you guys. I'm just a little, upset. It was like just stuff like quicksand. Fucking straight college shit, bro. Fucking dudes. Some of them are just fucking straight up delusional. You're just straight up fucking sociopath, narcissistic fucking just neurotic as fuck. Anyways, you guys, I hope you guys are alright. It's just being out of control. They want me. I can't, like, this. They won't let me. I've already tried. They won't let me. Like, all this shit, they won't let me. It's all just forced. They won't let me. They won't let me at all, bro. They won't let me. Blessings to you, Spirit of Faith. I just feel like some fucking crack shit, bro, too. Like crackhead shit. Just all kind of shit. Just too much. Like, it's not mine. Then they want to, like, make me like a damsel in distress type shit. Fuck them. They need shit. I gotta sit here and walk on eggshells no more. Fuck them. Look how they feel, too. Then they want to exaggerate like every fucking thing, bro. Like when I'm sitting here just
It's
like
to talk to you guys.
just speaking like just extreme shit, bro. Like I ain't got time for this, bro. I'm about to do me
It's international.
and hopefully have that come. Fuck these dudes.
Okay.
I had a dream like all year. Like
This is you demonic entity.
I don't care how they feel. They sit here and fucking cry all day. Matter of fact, I ran out of toilet paper. I ran out of tissue. They want to like fucking turn shit alter all this fucking stupid shit, bro. I ain't. Nah, I'm good. Then they want to like. Oh, they want to blah 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 blah. I'm fine with that shit.
No, God, don't.
They want to act like there's something like fucking like taking or something like that. Fuck that. Can't even do that, bro. Don't even let me do that, bro. Don't even let me do that. Then they want to turn me over. Fuck these people. Fuck that chunky ass dude too. Always can like just stirring up the pot. Chunky ass dude, bro. Straight up fight with status. They ain't throwing all this shit at me. Fuck that, bro. Character assassination, all this other shit. They trying to tell me I'm ugly. I'm not ugly. I'm pretty as fuck. Let them get mad. I'll tell it. I'm never even conceited. You never heard me say nothing like that ever in my life. I'm pretty as fuck. I'm never gonna allow anybody to define me or tell me what I am or who I am. They can't even define themselves. Thanks, Ronald. I appreciate it. Someone trying to make me walk on it. Fuck that, dude. I don't want to. Fuck off. Then one of them want to hiss at me. I don't give a fuck about that either. Yes, that's what. It's on lavender vanilla. See it right now? Let me see. Alright, thank you. It's a scrub? Yeah, it's like a body scrub. Thanks, Nina. I love you. Love you too. I love you, Nina. I'll see if Nana can take us to TJ Maxx. Nana will take us to the store.
Yeah, she's in the shop, bless her. Right. I'm showing that tree.
My body hurts.
As I'm being monitored. The one at St. Tina's.
Oh, the black type? It's pretty, Nina. So you're gonna go to the pool?
They have more at Spencer's, but I want to carry it like this, so I might take off the strap.
See, I think it looks.
Yeah. The satanic entities, aren't there?
Yeah, keep it out of the front. That's just love.
Sanctums. Absolute sanctums.
No, that's just my dry earth.
Website.
Yeah, that one's it's
However, it was probably like 28.
Don't know the website that it says. But I'm gonna
How to say that much, but it's pretty.
Anti-comment disqualified. They're even altering what you got online. Anti-comment disqualified. They're even altering what you got online. Just want to see there is still a website definition. Just want to see there is still a website definition. I really don't know if it is actually, because I knew it was used to be. So just say if I can remember. Not sure if it's it. I really don't know. It used to. I knew it was used to be. Just say a long time ago. I really don't know. It used to. A long time. I'm not sure. So let's see what they're saying in mainstream news. Get rid of that research. Let's see what they're saying in mainstream news. Yeah, happy mate to get off. Yeah, happy mate to get off. Well, how convenient. What, a virtual veterans died at 104. How did you live to 104? Did you take the potion of natural remedies? Perhaps, you know. And people being tortured to death. Right, I'm playing something else in the background. Well, I've got to do stuff. Well, how convenient.
Yeah, fun. Let me get the thing out of the car. I'll show you, and you can use it for the.
Who are worshiping, in fact, and serving willingly. That's why, in fact, no one can rise up, because they're still serving, they're still worshiping, and yet they don't know it because what? They've been tricked. And why? Because they are true in their walk with Christ, or they have no walk with Christ at all. Revelation 13:8. All that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. Notice what it says. And all that dwell upon the earth, all that that dwell on the earth shall worship him, who do not receive the name of the Lord written on them as a mark of their true service and dedication to God. God knows whose heart is true, who is lukewarm, and whose heart is dedicated. And there will be a separation, because he will only write his name on those that are true, those that are truly dedicated. And if not, if you don't get that name, you will automatically, like I said, it's a two-funnel system, you will automatically be in the camp of those that dwell upon the earth. All shall worship. It's right there. And speaking further about the beast which serves Satan, it says, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Okay, sorry, this is talking about Satan. And then it says, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound and a sword and did live. So he says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles. So a time is coming, in a culmination, when this leadership Antichrist figure will emerge, who will be able to do miracles which will convince probably Christians, so-called dedicated Christians, that may Christ their life even, but they're not true in their heart, they're not true in their dedication. If you look closely enough, you'll be able to see where they had slipped up, where they had not dedicated themselves. And these will be fooled by those miracles and say, oh, this guy is the holy God. This is the right one. This is the Christ even. This is coming. It says it right here. Because we're talking about religious people, a lot of religious people that are going to be deceived by those miracles. Revelation 13:16. And because of all of small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, that no man might buy or sell, say that he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So we know that that number is 666, by the way, in case you remember that. And this tells us, though, important information here to take into account. He says he causes all, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So this means everyone. Basically saying everyone, and only a select people will not receive the mark. And if they are still alive and in the earth and functioning at that time, in other words, if they haven't been raptured or something else, or died previously or something else, they will be killed for refusing the mark. So a lot of these that held out for a long time, clinging on to Christ and quoting his word and going to church and doing all these things, they have so much pressure. The truth of who they are and their walk will be revealed, because they will capitulate finally, because as they will, my family can't eat. Well, I'll lose my job. Well, I'll lose my social standing. Only those that will sacrifice in the death, because everyone who receives the mark, oh no, oh no. Revelation 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night. That comes up again and again in Hell Witnesses. They have no rest day or night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receive the mark of his name. So this is coming, friends. This is scary stuff, but we know it's coming. Jesus said the scripture cannot be broken. There's no avoiding it. There's no all of a sudden the Christians really get together and pray, it'll all go away. Nope. This is the bride here is in fact coming. Revelation 17:8. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder. They'll wonder, they'll be confused, they'll be tricked by it, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not, and yet is. So those whose names are not written in the book of life will wonder at the beast and this great, leader. They will be under the when the final plagues of God come down upon them, which is going to be very bad news for all that remain on the earth at that time. Revelation 21:3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven, behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them, and be their God. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. If you're watching this, it's not too late. Say this prayer now. Father in heaven, please save my soul by the work of your Son Jesus on the cross, and show me your pure words in the authorized King James Bible. Is in fact coming. Revelation 17:8. The beast that thou sawest was and is not.
Very funny. So you're going to target and harass and torment and do all these demonic things. Check. Yeah. Hours. What time did I start? 5:30. 6:30, 7:30, 2.5 hours. Right, I'm ending this stream. Well, apart from watching quickly the weathercam. Your foot soldiers ain't gonna do nothing because I've got the protection of Jesus Christ. There's my soul catchers, demonic entities worshipping the demonic demons. Skies have gone pink in Scotland. Doesn't matter if I've got the one non-consensual. Let's see if it can help me with this one. Come on then. It's about the cursor. So pathetic. I pay for this connection and you're hacking it. Your automatic computer systems and AI. You hack the brain, you're hacking this. Thank goodness my family don't know this program. They won't be able to take it. I've been monitored anyway, I know that. And hacking to my son's brain. Try to warn him. Send him links, educate him. And my bloody granddaughter. What the hell is she being put through? The honeypot wife. What the wife as a kid went through in her situation, Richard abuses satanically, and her mother hadn't done nothing about it. She didn't put her daughters. She didn't get a remedy, so she hurt my blood on and stitched him up to have a kid by him. So there'd be another innocent little female. Oh, get off my bloody network and my body, you demons. Yeah, blocking all connection. Right, I'm ending the stream. Got better things to do.